if you want to put a bigger battery in your Chevy, the battery against the firewall, you have to bend this tab down and use these two side tabs, which is stock mount. And if you get a battery, it says Jaguar, Land Rover, they can be found in BMWs, whatever, you know, the ones underneath the trunk, underneath the seat, in some of them. But you can see how big a difference. Go from 600 to 900 cranking amps. And it mounts right into place. You just need to bend that tab down, and it still mounts with this and this and your factory mount, so it won't slide. And if you're really into stereos and stuff, it still has the mount from the older versions. All you need is the battery mount, and you can run two batteries very easy in this truck. Every truck I've had 4. I've did this, and you just tap your leads here. You can run one straight over to your alternator for this battery, of course with the fuse. And your ground, you can go right here on the frame, and you can use 2 batteries in these trucks for your stereos and all that. Well, just like I said, all the factory mounts, the back end, you will have to mount that right there, but that's simple. Here's the screw. Trying to hold this camera and do this is crazy, but there's factory. Just had to move that out the way. 13mm. That's where the other factory mount goes. Right back in place. Battery is secure, ain't sliding, ain't moving. Just need to tighten everything down. I'll show you when it's done. Okay, just like I promised, your battery's back in, everything's tight. Factory mounts. And if you look here on this one, it has a 175 amp fuse there. That's factory. And depending on the options of your car, you could have another fuse up to 4. My buddy has a Tahoe that was like the police one, and we did the 2 battery system on it, and it had a bunch of stuff. These little blocks, I guess they're factory, and they come with up to 300 amp fuses in them. So he's got 4 extra fuses, and we just ran his second battery right next to it on the fuse, and it just tied right in. Just slides over these little pins, and it looks just like that factory. Runs over, we ran the loom, ran it over, and over there where I'm gonna put mine, I'm gonna go to the dealer and get one of these little looms or Coma Junkyard, and it's all you need for your second battery mount is the factory. You can find them at AutoZone. They're like 10 bucks, but I got this from a junkyard. Anyone I see, I just usually pick it up because I modded all the trucks. And there your battery box or your second battery, and it just screws down just like factory. You don't got to get no big huge battery, or you can go with like the little aftermarket batteries that are like 14 volts depending on radical you want to go with your sound system. And there's even a second alternator kit that sits right here to put another alternator on here, but we're not going that big. But yeah, everything's factory looking. No mods, no really heavy modification. Under warranty, won't void your warranty, nothing. Just run it over and tie it in, and you got a second battery for whatever. Lights, stereo. These come with electric cooling fans, but the guys on the older Chevys that do the mods, and if you got an older Chevy, this compartment's here. You just need to buy that bracket. It's a factory bracket for the 07 and up 1500s, you know. And yeah, like I said, it's just run the wire over to the battery, or you can run one with the fuse straight to your alternator for your power, and then run your ground right to the factory ground. Or there is a ground way back there that goes with this little grounding strap. And yeah, so there you have it. Okay, I showed y'all that and that. So I went and had this battery here tested. Got AutoZone, O'Reilly's, both places said it was good. So I mounted it here. Factory mount, sits in the cradle, fits perfect. This was the battery that was over there. That's smaller. It's only 600 cold cranking out. That one there is 950. So I mounted this. See, it's mounted. It's not even hooked up yet, but as you can see, it mounts. There's 2 batteries in the truck. Now I'll run the wire in a later video, but just wanted to show you guys that it was 2 batteries, factory mounts. Very, very, very little modifications. And if you don't want a big battery like I did the big battery, so I just had to bend that mount down that I showed you in the front of the video. You don't need to modify nothing. Just get a second mount and buy you a second battery like the one that's currently in the truck. And then you'll have 2 batteries with no modifications. The only reason I modified is because I got a bigger battery. But there it is.